Greetings, fellow children's toys. I don't know. That's not the best greeting. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to the Main Street Cinema, the show where we discuss the finer points of filmmaking. Dragon, save me on that. What's a better greetings for this movie?
Greetings, Lego Bat fans.
All right, thank you. Greetings, Lego Bat fans. All right, folks, so we are here to talk about the Lego Batman movie, have a spoiler-filled discussion on it. Dragon, before we get into the mix, I know we're a little crushed for time, but I just want to have a little story just to muse the listeners.
This better be good.
Bear with me. So the first time I see the Lego Batman movie, the one flaw with it was that it had in the theater was a group of a couple of parents and two toddlers who were just running around the theater crying, basically doing everything they possibly could to distract the audience watching the movie, and it ended up being a lousy movie-going experience. Second time I go to see the movie, literally outside of the theater, before I even walk in and buy my ticket or anything like that, I see a mother with a freaking baby carriage, with a baby holder, buying a ticket to a movie, and I'm just thinking, you've got to be kidding me. It's happening again. History is
Children stink.
itself.
Go on.
And so anyways, I walk into the theater, and to my relief, that woman is nowhere to be found. I had a heart attack. I thought I was gonna have my screening ruined for me. But no, I was able to focus all my attention on the Lego Batman movie, and I thought it was good. I mean, I'm not gushing about this movie the way a lot of other people are, and we'll get into that with our spoiler cast, but that's just kind of my thesis statement. I thought it was good, and I was paying close attention to it. There weren't any distractions in my theater, thank God, although I thought there would be. All right, Dragon, let's get into the plot. Let's not waste any more time.
Okay,
Plot.
let me boil down the plot and bullet points. We're going to go real quick here, so hang on. Okay, movie takes story 3 years post the Lego movie. Batman continues his day-to-day war on crime. Very successful, top of his game. Keyword solo. Batman goes home to a lonely existence, afraid of having a family and connections, given what happened to his own parents. Joker, meanwhile, very hurt by Batman undervaluing him, concocts a plan to get Batman to admit their rivalry. Barbara Gordon becomes commissioner as Jim retires. Bruce Wayne, distracted by this, adopts Dick Grayson. As Joker and all the other Batman rogues surrender, leaving Batman without a purpose. He and his new son, Robin, break into the Fortress of Solitude, stay with me, break into the Fortress of Solitude, and then into Arkham Asylum to send Joker to the Phantom Zone, using the Phantom Zone projector. This puts Joker with the baddest of the bad who team up and escape to take over Gotham, and get Batman to admit his hatred for the Joker. It's all about being valued, folks. Oh, yeah. Batman eventually escapes the Phantom Zone, as he's put there by the Joker, by striking a deal with Phyllis to recapture the villains from the Phantom Zone, which leads Batman to realize having a Bat family isn't a bad thing, as he and his team save Gotham from his arch enemy, the Joker.
Yeah, as we said in the non-spoiler review we did with this, the First Impressions podcast, essentially this movie, what it does well is that this is by far the best interpretation of the origin story of the Bat family that we've ever seen on screen.
Something that usually we have to build, or we have to go through a lot of stuff to kind of make it viable, and usually it kind of varies in the results.
Sure, but this, like I said, it hits it out of the park, I think, with the Bat family thing. And speaking of the Bat family, Dragon, let's get into it. Let's talk about all the characters, mostly the Bat family, but let's get into Batman. Batman.
Yes. So this interpretation of Batman, of course, we were introduced to in the Lego movie, but Will Arnett, he's an excellent fun Batman. Basically, this take on Batman, especially in this movie, is what if Batman bought into his own press, essentially? What if this Batman bought into his own press and was full of himself? And of course, the way the stereotype of Batman is Batman knows everything you're going to do the minute you step into a room. So what if that Batman is still that Batman, but he's a little more boastful about it? It's yeah, I can do that. I'm awesome. I'm the house that DC, the house that Batman built.
One of my
literally.
favorite scenes regarding that is the Bruce Wayne at the the Commissioner Gordon retirement party, where Bruce Wayne is just reacting to everything like, "Oh, I'm sure Batman's here in spirit. Yeah, I'm sure he's listening to all this right now. Oh yeah."
And while he is hilariously overconfident and narcissistic, I love that he still has the concepts that we love about Batman. Especially for especially how he misses his parents and he's doing all of this for them. Of course, we don't miss the core concepts, but of course we can't really delve into murder in a Lego movie. The closest thing we've had to that was like kind of decapitation by penny or dime, whichever.
Sure.
So the point is, again, I like that it's still the earmarks of everything we know and love about Batman is there, but it's still kind of an original take. It's very human. I love it. It's so bizarre given it's Legos, but it's such a human take on Batman.
I mean, we can talk about the scene that you and I kind of both wanted as a favorite moment is, that great moment where after the terrific opening scene, Dragon, I think the opening, like, I have mixed reservations about this movie as a whole. I think it's good. I don't think it's nearly as great as the Lego movie was, but the opening scene is fantastic. You got to give the opening scene that. It bursts out of the gate with such energy, such such color and enthusiasm. It really sets everything up quite well. But then we get that fantastic second movement in the film, which is when Batman returns to the Batcave, and we see the isolation of it is just, first of all, it's very well shot. It's very well composed. Like, all the wide shots of just how vast the Batcave is.
Go ahead. I was going to say that again, we have the earmarks. One of the great things with this Batman, again, it's filled with coursing with logical logic. That these are things we know we know that are true about Batman. Yet again, we're looking it through with a different kind of, a little bit more kind of comedic lens of, realistically, Batman is, before he has the Bat family, he's very alone. And even if you did buy into the enterprise, you're a lot more like kind of a more expressive Batman. You're going to express that loneliness in a more kind of pronounced and hilarious way that he has all this stuff because he's a rich guy. He's Bruce Wayne. He's got a giant luxurious bat cave, like the best, most exaggerated, awesome bat cave ever. And he's got to share with Alfred's regratting the tiles on like the 80th floor of Wayne Manor in this version of Wayne Manor. Again, I love how everything's exaggerated. And plus, and again, it's like all the years of Batman compiled into one movie.
And what I also love about that, the exaggeration quality of it is, since, as we learned in the first Lego movie, and I'm still going on this logic, we've seen examples of it in this movie as well. This movie is definitely supposed to be little kids playing with Legos, and we're seeing the interpretation of that. So
whether it's the same kid or not, that's always up to debate.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
one thing I want to mention before we move on to another character. Again, as I said before, we have the earmarks of Batman qualities, and those qualities, of course, he's doing this all for his parents. He doesn't trust people.
Can I just quickly mention how much I love the moment where the lobster thermidor is being microwaved?
Sure.
I don't know. Do you have as much appreciation for that moment as I do? Just
you want to hear a fun story in return about the lobster thermidor?
Sure.
I've been getting a few of the, because I like the minifigs. I don't like building the Legos. I might have my father. My father's a big car guy. I have a collection of Batmobiles, so he might put together the Lego Batmobile thing. But mainly, I collect them. I'm starting to collect a few of the minifigs, but not getting into all the like tens of thousands of variations on the bat suits.
Right.
But I have been getting a few I've been very selective on the figures from this movie because I love a lot of the figures from this movie. So I got 4. I started with 4. So I already had the Batman from the Lego movie. I still got to get the one from this. But the point is, aside from that and a few others, I got the Comic-Con, which I've told you about when we did that Comic-Con video.
Sure.
For this film, of course, I got both versions of Jim Gordon. They got the retirement party Jim Gordon. I have the Commissioner Gordon, which I'm very in love with. I had to get a few other things so I can customize them with some accessories. I had to get Barbara Gordon because she had the retirement party Barbara Gordon, because she had the bat signal. I needed the bat signal button for Jim Gordon.
Oh yeah.
and lastly, in this one, because I just love this idea of Batman. I'm going somewhere with this. I love the lobster thermidor Batman. It's the Batman in a robe with the cowl on. It's an image I loved ever since the trailers of this casual Batman who is alone. It's a mixture. It's a perfect representation of he is Bruce Wayne, but at the same time, this is Bruce Wayne who's at his core, as we always look at Batman, he's Batman before he's Bruce Wayne, and it's Bruce Wayne wearing a Batman cowl, doing these mundane things, like, of course, the toy, the Lego comes with the Lobster Thermidor plate, too.
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's him, and I love him in the robe. That's the main thing I love about, always with the Lobster Thermidor. It's the idea. Again, I love this such humanistic view.
Like when he accidentally puts 20 minutes on the microwave instead of 2 minutes.
See, that opening, those are the moments I live for with this movie together. I love looking at Batman through such this human, because we always talk about, Batman's a human character. It's a reason a lot of people like him, but this is a version of Batman we've never seen we've never seen this mundane of Batman.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Exactly.
And just to continue my point, I was making earlier, just kind of connect here again. Believe me, I love Lobster Thermidor Batman. That's my whole point with all those other Legos I've gotten, of course.
Okay.
But again, he doesn't trust people. He is a loner again, hence the Lobster Thermidor thing. He keeps his team safe, much like Batman does, by keeping them separate as he does in the movie. He sends them away at a certain point, and he's willing to sacrifice himself always, as we see later on with the Phantom Zone kind of payoff. And again, those are all core elements that are very true to Batman. At the same time, it's such an original take on Batman. So I love all of that mixed together.
Really quick, I also love the element of Batman, just getting over his repressed emotions by laughing hysterically and ironically at romantic comedies. a lot of fun, subtle stuff in there.
And of course, of all romantic comedies, it's the one that a lot of people have taken notice from The Dark Knight. Of course, it's the "You Complete Me" scene.
Oh God. Okay, let's move on to the Boy Wonder himself, Michael Cera. Yeah,
Michael Cera performance I actually liked.
yes, right.
That's a rarity.
I know. And to tell you the truth, Dragon, I still have a couple issues with this Michael Cera, with this Robin. I don't like the pants bit. I think that's the only thing I could have done without the pants bit. It's a little too immature for me. But other than the pants bit, I think this is a very, very good Robin. This might be the best Robin we've ever had in a... unless Robin... I don't think Robin was in Mask of the Phantasm.
No, he was not.
Okay, so I would wager to say this is the best Robin we've ever had in a cinematic Batman movie.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of the other ones now. Yeah, it's pretty fair. Yeah.
I mean, it's either that, or if you want to count Return of the Caped Crusaders as a cinematic Batman movie.
Yeah, it's technically, because also there's Killing Joke. I know there's no Robin. I'm saying that if you want to count all the theatrically released things, technically they were released as well as Caped Crusader. They're both released through Fathom events. So it's kind of up in the air how to count these.
Well, let's just say as a mainstream, wide release Batman movie, I'd say this is the best Robin we've ever gotten.
Yes, and the reason that I think a big reason that is, Tiki, is because people have been waiting, and we're still waiting, honestly, for the young Robin. Because of course, with Chris O'Donnell, we had a Robin more in the vein of what we got in the animated series. The first go around, eventually they introduced the younger Robin, but the first Robin, the Dick Grayson Robin, was they introduced him as a college student because they wanted that's just kind of the version we'll get into when we get into the animated Batcave. But that's kind of the version they wanted to do.
Sure.
And people back in the whole Batman 3 speculatory days, can't we introduce a kid Robin? They introduced the kid Robin, but not exactly in the sense everyone wanted.
Oh God!
You see what I'm saying? I think that's a reason why people really in the grand, if you're lumping all the cinematic Batman films, would gravitate towards. Yeah, this is Robin we've been waiting for, the young plucky kid who's going to kind of ground Batman. In this case, let's lighten a really dark and heavy Batman. No, let's get Batman to conquer his fear, which is having a family, by giving him the adoptive son.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like that he is.
I really like the orphan angle that they go with the orphanage. That's also one of my favorite Batman bits. It's him dropping by the orphanage. Merch gun. Who wants something from my merch cannon?
Oh yeah, the orphan thing is pretty fun. I just love the idea of Batman visiting orphans too, by the way, because it's something I would love to see with the regular Batman too. Because again, in real life, we've had some really outstanding people in real life who have visited the sick and the orphaned in Batman costumes.
And I gotta think, Dragon. I gotta think that the whole orphanage thing is a callback to Dark Knight Rises, which I appreciate.
It is, but also, part of me, I doubt it's intentional, but part of me like to think there's a sweet thing there. Lenny B. Robinson, unfortunately, passed away a few years back, and he was a guy, he visited kids' hospitals and stuff as Batman. I like to think that's maybe pulling from that. It's a stretch, but you're right. It's mostly Rises, though, yeah. Sorry, I'm just losing my place here. The point is, he's kind of skilled. He has skills, and kind of is the family that Batman needs. And he has like a lot of like, well, again, he's kind of that lighter version of Batman. He's kind of like a more humble version of the Lego Batman, which is kind of funny given the usual reversal of those roles.
Mm-hmm. Dragon, I'm just kind of looking at our characters. Do you think we should go through the Bat family first and then end on the Joker? Because I know we have the Joker next, but I think it'd be more natural to transition to Alfred from Robin.
Well, yeah, that was the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it then. I'm sorry. Just ignore anything I have in the chat. So sorry, folks. All right. So yeah, let's transition to Alfred then. Dragon, once again, it's hard to fuck up Alfred. It's impossible.
We've never had bad Alfred. Not yet. We've never had a bad Alfred.
And this is one of the better ones, I must say. It truly is.
And would also work in live action too.
It would. It really would. Well, I mean, outside of like some of the silly, like, sir, I am putting you on time out. You know what I mean? Like, you've lost your computer privileges. I mean, that is clearly like, but we love that stuff too, because that obviously fits with like the Lego movie conceit of like, you know, the little kids' interpretation of the Alfred and Batman dynamic. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. So many good things about Alfred. I love how he just like directly lets Robin into the Batcave, and the line like, "I'm not letting him into the Batcave. I'm letting him into your life." Like that's really good.
Via the Batcave.
Dragon, of course, I'm sure you agree with me. Probably the most emotional moment in the whole movie is when Batman just kind of underhands Alfred. It's like, "What do you know about being a father figure?" You know,
you don't have a family, Alfred.
And then just, might I say, Dragon, this is also just one of the things that blows me away with this movie. I have some issues with the animation in terms of some of the backgrounds and particle effects that we'll get into. But having said that, I think one of the things that this movie actually really improved on with the animation is the facial reactions and the facial expressions on the Lego figures.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many moments where it just works so well. There's a moment with the Joker that we'll get into.
Oh, yeah.
And then with Alfred, too, you know, that moment we just brought up. It's like, you know, goddamn, it's like, you know, just the silly minifigure of Alfred, just your heart breaks for it, you know? It's so good.
Of course, well, just with Alfred always being just so darn lovable. I like with Alfred, what he represents the story is like he wants Batman to make a change. And I love that as a statement for the film. I love how that all comes here. We'll get to that a little bit in prose. But point, I love that Alfred wants Bruce to make a change and wants him to grow up, which would, of course, leads to a family. And importantly, with the family, again, this is all stuff that's true to Alfred fundamentally, is that, you know, Alfred, less through a Bat family, more through a regular family. Alfred wants Bruce to be a nice girl, start a family. Importantly, just to kind of, what this Alfred wants too is just for Batman to go through an emotional healing and maturity.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, in this case, maturity. I'm just saying in general, he's kind of, you know, emotional healing of losing the other family and kind of regaining a new one. But again, through the vein of like, well, also we got to mature this Batman. He's all childish and self-absorbed. We gotta make him the patriarchal, little bit more serious Batman. It's a smidge.
right.
Just a smidge. Again, we don't want to, this original Batman.
I mean, a serious Batman right now, that still does like, you know, Batman gangster raps by the end credits of the movie, but still somewhat more mature Batman.
Yeah, because again, this Batman, he's a loner in a Batcowl. That's what this Batman is. That's what he needs. He needs a family. I love you. I want to mention too that was a great '89 reference to the whole letting Robin into the Batcave, much like with Vicky Vale.
Definitely, right.
Yeah, again, I love how he's judging and he's kind of raising Batman. Again, you're right, through that really, just seeing Alfred get hurt by Batman's callousness for feeling, you know, it's such a, oh boy, it's such a hard, and the moment that got me, tell me if this got you, when Alfred falls into that abyss. I mean, of course we know he's going to be okay, but my God.
Of course, yeah, but yeah, it is a very well shot sequence, yeah.
It's done a lot better than the Pepper Potts thing.
Oh God, right.
But seriously, wasn't that? It's the way it's Alfred's reaction to it. It's the idea. Okay, Batman saves Robin. It's like right before he could save Robin, Dark Knight Returns style, which delighted me, by the way. But the point is, you know, he saves him. And he can't get to Alfred, and there's like the build there, the realization. The score is great in this film, but as Alfred I guess he lost Alfred. And again, you get the second time I watched, I get the chill up my spine of like, oh my, the goosebumps and everything. Of like, I know he's going to be okay. I saw literally. I know he's going to be okay. So I said, first time, it sends a chill in my spine. Oh my god, losing Alfred. Just again, it's achieving what's supposed to do in there. We're feeling Bruce's realization in that moment, even though we know he's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Really quick, what do you think of 60s Man?
You mean Alfred in the 60s batsuit?
Yeah.
Well, again, Alfred is all in the comics. Is what they get from Alfred puts on the batsuit a lot of the time in the comics.
I figured that was a comic pull. I to be honest with you, it's like I'm fine with it. I don't know. It wouldn't have been my first choice. It works well.
I think if you're gonna put Alfred in a batsuit, I think it's just a great thing of putting him in the 60s suit.
Yeah,
I'm saying because that's what it's pulling kind of an original Alfred. Sometimes Bruce needs someone to kind of distract from the fact that hey, Bruce Wayne is Batman. There's Batman right there. In this, there's actually another reason they did the 60s. In the 60s show, they literally had Alfred in the costumes. That's why it's directly from them.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not in the comics, but more so from the 60s show that keeps coming up now and again where he's in the suit.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay, let's get to Barbara Gordon then.
Really good version of Barbara Gordon. I love Rosario Dawson as Barbara
Gordon.
Man,
Rosario Dawson's the best, isn't she?
She's good as anything, honestly.
Yeah. I honestly really, Dragon, I know that it's like almost impossible for this to be a direct parody of The Killing Joke. I know that production-wise it's almost impossible, but it so feels like it, and I love it. Like, it's like they have like Batman's like over-the-top like gaga eyes, and like Barbara, whatever he sees her, and of course like the great kind of self-serving line at the end, like, and Barbara, my totally platonic coworker buddy. Yeah.
I love the way Barbara's animated, but I love how her hair kind of flows and stuff.
Oh. And Barbara, I definitely think is another like critical linchpin to forming the Bat family as well. And she's super competent. It's like she kicks a lot of ass, just like any Rosario Dawson character does.
And again, they're combining various elements of Batman here, because in Batman Beyond, Barbara does become police commissioner. So that's where they got the idea from. And it's kind of that mixed with just kind of the traditionally with Batgirl. Batgirl starts as an outside to the family who wants in on the Bat family. So it's kind of mixing things in the right mixing pot, so to speak. It's she's trying to get Batman not to be solo anymore. She's trying to get him to work with the GCPD, which again is kind of a 60s reference too, of Batman being a badge carrying member of the GCPD. I don't think she's quite that literal with it. She just wants to work in alliance with him, but more Batman works more within the system, which is an idea Scott Snyder has flirted with recently, which again delighted me. With Jim Gordon becoming Batman, which again was a story you got to read.
Oh, you were hyping me up on that one. I know.
But in the end, again, she wants Batman to change, and again, Batman does change, but not in the way she expects. She changes a little bit more than she expected Batman to, because she's wearing the costume, she's wearing a bat suit of her own. So I love that they both kind of found a middle ground with her being Batgirl. So it's kind of like, she's working with Batman, but not the way she thought she did, neither the way that Batman thought he would either.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, just very, very clever writing on just addressing the thing. Dragon, I don't know. I gotta say,
she was a well-written character. Again, she was really strong, and not again. It doesn't waver like the Killing Joke.
But I gotta say, I almost like, I don't know what's more implausible: the fact that they would know about the whole Killing Joke situation and have time to work it in, or that it's not a reference to the Killing Joke, because it fits so in line with the Killing Joke and that whole controversy.
Well, to be fair, what they could have done, Tegan, I'm throwing this out there. They could have had another line, and because it's off screen, Batman's talking to her, the whole platonic coworker buddy. They could have had a different line in there and said, "Oh my God, we just saw Killing Joke. Let's look at the subtle reference there. It's off screen." So he says something to her that
it is.
Maybe again they just had a different line to get a reaction out of her, like saying, "And a girl I kind of like," but instead like saying platonic coworker buddy, just to make it a little bit more
I just love the phrasing of that, platonic coworker buddy.
That is a great line. There's so many good lines in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I guess getting to speaking of Killing Joke.
Oh yeah, the jokester, the joke man. Hey, it's Jokes. Nobody calls you that.
Nobody calls you that.
Well, yeah, people do call me that. Okay, so I gotta say, Dragon, pleasantly surprised. Rewatching this movie, I think the thing I took away from it the most that I didn't take from the first viewing was just how strong the Joker's arc is.
Oh yeah.
I really think this is a well-written Joker. I mean, it's certainly not like the level of like, you know, like scary that we saw in something like Heath Ledger, of course not, but it's not trying for that. But in a way, Dragon, you know what's fascinating about this Joker is that I feel like in a way it's scary in its own way because it's taken on that whole sort of like the horror story of like the clingy relationship, you know what I mean? Or like the like almost like kind of like the Syndrome style, like desperate fanboy or something like that. You know,
I really wish when you bring that up, I really wish you read Death of the Family because that's all about that's the dark version of that.
I'm sorry, I only have so many hours in my day, man. Okay, I'm dealing with a very stressful.
All right, I'm just saying, if you like that, Tiki, you would love the next arc of Snyder.
But you know what I'm saying though. Like I do think it's impressive that in this movie they managed to capture that. And capture it where, even though, yeah, sure, Galifianakis is inherently very silly and probably, you know, among the more lighthearted Jokers we've seen on screen, of course.
Well, at least he got more to do than Leto did.
Oh, God, yes. He's definitely a superior Leto. But
and again, not disparaging Leto, just Leto we didn't have enough to form an opinion on Leto. That's all. Anyway,
so you agree that those parts of the movie where he's just, like, being, like, a kind of like the clingy ex-girlfriend to Batman, for lack of a better phrasing.
Yes. I mean, I love this.
I mean, there is definitely kind of an air of you know, like creepiness about it to me that still kind of rings through, even though it is very childish.
Well, I love that with the childish aspect there. I love that as much as I praise Batman for being again a great reflection of the comics, yet predominantly its own thing, but again, true to elements of the Batman the comics. Joker, as it always should be, is a reflection of that. Joker it's a childish version of the Joker, but still with like something a little off about it. And that, again, the kind of that creepy kind of he's drawn. Basically, it's a way of adapting the dark, creepy element of, oh my god, the Joker is kind of fixated and in love with Batman. As again, it's a dark idea. Again, as I mentioned, the Snyder comics we kind of got going on.
Right.
It's not just him, but it's always been around. But you know, really having the Snyder comic, but. And basically, you're adapting that for kids, and this is kind of the kid interpretation of kind of Batman Joker's relationship, which is kind of like very much like, again,
which is still pretty dark, I must say.
Yeah, which is befitting of it's a light version and very befitting of this humanistic Batman. We have a very insecure Joker of the relationship, and if you were a kid, Tiki, you'd wonder, why is the clown the Bat guy's arch nemesis?
Sure.
And that's Joker's kind of come to grips with. I am his arch nemesis. Why does no one believe me? I fight him all the time. Again, you never see. You get glimpses of an insecure Joker.
The Joker's introduction is great, where the pilot is just like totally unfazed by him, and that just really.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that really just sets his whole motivation for the whole movie. That's some really good writing right there.
And again, kind of like the Snyder thing, he's trying to, again, directly like Death of the Family, he's trying to better Batman with kind of this acceptance. You know, with Batman, you got to accept this, that you and I, you know, we're tomato here, buddy. You know? But again, it's done through a very juvenile, with this very juvenile admittance that, you know, he's after it. So Joker's just very just admit it. Just say the words. You know, just say I'm your arch nemesis. But again, it's done so.
I love when we have the one of the things I wish we had more of in this movie in general, Dragon, is Channing Tatum as Superman, because I love Channing Tatum as.
Well, let's save for when we get. Save for when we get to more stuff.
But I love that moment where you know, Channing Tatum Superman is just like, yeah, Zod, you know, I put him in the Phantom Zone and he is my. You know, I gotta say, Zod's like my greatest nemesis, and Joker's just like watching from Arkham, like, see, he gets it.
Oh yeah, but again, this just last thing on the Joker to keep kind of talking circles. But the point is, Galifianakis is good. It's kind of a different take on Joker. It's a very it pairs well with kind of this human take on Batman, where your Joker wouldn't be like all kind of calm, cool, super creepy and collected, but he would be. The elements we've gotten nods of over the years of Joker, where we play Joker as human, but we know him as being this other like super criminal, but with these human elements that drives his crimes. So here it's kind of a reversal. Like he's very human up in front. Like he's announcing very directly about him the reason for his thing, but also that the crime is like secondary, which again it's very serves very well what we know about the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as long as it's a Joker who's not really being super theatrical, but he's just very like, he's very realistic. I'm a clown. I go after this guy. He never admits it. It's the Joker with relationship problems, despite the fact he's with like grand scheme relationship problems.
Sure.
Anyway, so let's get to. I'm gonna laundry list this thing because this could go on for a long time. So basically, let's go over the tons of cameos we got here. So, oh boy, these are all real Batman characters.
Oh, I believe it.
As the jokes says, as the pilot says, says to him like, "Okay, you're making up a few of those last ones." Nope, they're all.
Let's kind of like just first of all just address all of them in this picture. We have Penguin, Riddler, Killer Croc, who has one of the best laughs in the movie. I did something.
Yeah, Catwoman, who just says meow a lot,
which really annoys me. That's one of the sticking points for me. I think Catwoman.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
We got, of course, Clayface. We got Clayface was really well rendered.
I love the design on Clayface.
I'm still perplexed by the voice. They have a female voice for Clayface, but let's not dwell on it. Then we have, of course, Bane. Bane has all the best lines. He's voiced by Doug Benson.
Yes.
We got Poison Ivy. We got Harley Quinn. We got the underutilized Billy D. Williams as Two-Face.
Wasted opportunity, unfortunately.
And Scarecrow.
Yeah. Okay. And then, what are some of the more obscure villains, Dragon?
Okay, let me see. So after the heavy hitters we just went through, there's Calendar Man.
Calendar Man, yeah. Condiment King.
There's Condiment King. Everyone loves Condiment King, who's from the animated series, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We have Eraser, who's one of my favorite obscure Batman villains. We have the Mutant Leader of all people. Remember the Mutant Leader from Dark Knight Returns? He's in this.
Yes. Of course, we have some good '60s villains. We have King Tut, Egghead.
Yep. We have some really old school Batman villains like the Calculator, Zebra Man. And we also get modern ones too. We got Hugo Strange. We got the Hugo Strange. We got the Red Hood. One of the Red Hoods, I guess. We got Dr. Phosphorus. Man Bat. We got Catman. I didn't say Catman. Polka Dot Man. Magpie. We got the Mime, whichever. Killer Moth, Kite Man, Gentleman Ghost, who's technically a Hawkman villain, but and also Captain Boomerang too. So Captain Boomerang and Gentleman Ghost are kind of out of their element there, but anyway. I think it's Tarantula. There's a lot of them. We already mentioned the Penguin.
Yeah. You want to go through?
There's a whole slew.
You want to go through the Phantom Zone villains?
Well, in a moment, let's address the heroes and we'll get to the Phantom Zone villains. Of course, we have one of my favorites. We got Jim Gordon, who is underutilized, but he's good, in the bits he has.
He's good, and I think like for the sake of the story and Barbara being the commissioner, you kind of have to write him out in that way. So I think they were as respectful with him as they could have been.
I just would have lost it if they gave us one rooftop scene. That's all I would have. It's one rooftop scene,
Right.
But anyway, the one conversation between Batman and Jim Gordon. That's all I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we got Mayor McCaskill. Mayor McCaskill is Mariah Carey's character. We have Chief O'Hara, and that's a cool reinvention of Chief O'Hara, I gotta say, kind of blending Montoya and Chief O'Hara.
I really did like that, especially the second time around when you pointed out that it was O'Hara.
Yeah, and of course she's answering the Red Bat phone, and again, like O'Hara was a cool addition. It also pairs well with Barbara going forward.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Of course, we have the Justice League. And the Super Friends, they're both there.
And Dragon, like I said, if there was one thing that I would just totally retool with this movie, I just really wish that Lego Superman was in it more.
And again, we'll get to with cons. There's a way they really should put the Justice League in there, and we'll get there. The point is that's kind of a lot of tons of cameos there, and of course, all with really well cast voices.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you have the Jonah Hill as Green Lantern and Channing Tatum as Superman. Oh God, I could watch a whole movie on those two.
It's funny, we have another with the Flash, because he has a small speaking role. He is voiced by another kind of befitting of what we have with those two guys. We have Adam Devine. A lot of people know him from Mike and Date Need Wedding Dates. He's from. He's one of the boyfriends on Modern Family. I know him from The Intern. He's one of the help. I liked him in The Intern. Usually, I don't like this guy. I liked him in The Intern.
Okay.
But I'm saying very befitting of kind of our Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill kind of.
Sure.
And Colby Smulders. She doesn't say anything. She's not casting this because Wonder Woman doesn't say anything, but Colby Smulders usually does the voice of Wonder Woman in this universe, and she's good. Yeah, Maria Hill from The Avengers. Anyway, so
Phantom Zone.
Yes.
Okay, I'll kind of take the lead on this one.
Take the lead.
Okay, so obviously we have Voldemort, not voiced by Ralph Fiennes,
Which is very perplexing. Instead, voiced by Eddie Izzard.
You know what? I kind of like it just because I like the irony of it, since we do have Ralph Fiennes in the movie. We have Sauron, who I love.
Yep.
Let's see. We have the Gremlins.
Yeah, that's a fun one. We have the
yeah.
Velociraptors from Jurassic Park,
which I don't think they can technically be from Jurassic Park due to the rights, so it's just kind of like weird generic Velociraptor.
Well, I don't know, Tigay. I don't know if it's for the original Lego movie. They have the deal in place. If anything, Lego has the rights to. They have the rights to. I don't know if how it works now. So let's not.
We'll see. They have the Mr. Smiths from the Matrix.
Yep, and I love it's not just one. I love that.
Right. Let's see. There's
Jaws.
Yeah, of course, with the shark repellent gag, one of the best gags in the movie.
Yep, King Kong, the Kraken.
Yeah, odd choice where they had like this sea monster, but it wasn't Godzilla.
Well, that's the Kraken.
Yeah, that's an odd choice for me. It should have been God.
Because a lot of people think of Godzilla as a hero. That's why. I don't know why King Kong's in there though. That's King Kong's not exactly a bad guy.
I would wager to say Godzilla's more of a bad guy than King Kong.
Godzilla started as a bad guy, then he became a good guy.
Well, I don't want to get into semantics of all that, but King Kong's always been the more sympathetic character, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're both them. Anyway, regardless. Let's see, any one major where, of course, Voldemort you mentioned. Is there any specific ones?
I mean, I'm sure there are. That's all the ones that come to mind. I mean, there's
Wicked Witch of the West.
There. Of course, great use of the flying monkeys in there, too.
Yes. All right, well, I think that's good enough.
That's good enough, yeah, okay. Let's see, any other kind of gags or references to the comics or anything like that you want to talk about?
Well, again, I thought we were going to tune the references to something else. So.
Okay, so how do you want to do it then?
I thought when we get to moments, we'd list off a few references.
Okay. All right.
Do we not want to do that?
We're not on the same page then, because I thought we had cut moments. I thought we had cut moments and
I thought we lumped it all into moments.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we have 20 minutes, so...
Do we not want to do that, or...?
Sure.
All right, okay.
Just now I'm really unprepared because literally I don't have moments, I just have references. So
let's go through references. Let's just fire it. You start us off.
Well, now I feel all self-conscious about it. Well, like I said, I love the Killer Croc reference with Suicide Squad. The 1930s cereal thing, that's a great little callback. That's a great kind of quick blink and you miss it type thing.
Of course, a lot of Rises stuff with Bane.
Definitely. Of course, you have to have that voice for the Bane character.
There's 89 with Prince and Let's Get Nuts.
There's actually quite a lot of Dark Knight Rises in here. There's a whole flying the bomb thing. There's the bomb in general, hijacking the plane.
There's Batman Returns with Penguin's vehicle of choice.
Sure. Let me see. I don't know. I'm sorry, man. Of
course, Batman's errors in film, and we saw this in the trailer, but we actually got to see the Lego-ized version of it.
Which was great. Although I love how the 60s version is still live-action Adam West.
Yes, I know. Because that's just befitting,
Right. Because Adam West really is just a cartoon character when it comes down to it.
The thing that really got me still, because they did that twice, and I love they did it in a way that was still original. So we got all of that. That was all the movies. Yet later on, when Babs is going through her slideshow, she has a slideshow of Batman over the air. He's never...
Yeah, right. The different comic eras of Batman. Right.
And in addition to that, we had the animated series was there, and
I caught the animated series on my second watch. I didn't quite catch that the first watch, maybe because I was distracted by the brats running around the theater. I digress. But when I saw that the second viewing, I was like, oh, that must have just made Dragon so happy.
And the thing made me even happier, as much as I love the animated series, I just love they literally did every form of Batman, because the ending one was the 40 cereals. Like, yes,
Right.
40 cereals.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, there's still tons of references we haven't gone through. This is like kind of a few of the notable ones, because there are a lot of even great subtle references too. I mean, oh my god, like they have all the cows from the movies in the background, in the back, of course, all the Batmobiles,
All the different Batmobiles and costumes and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, then you look,
I'm
all
sure
those
there's a ton
costumes
of
are
like props and artifacts in the Batcave.
like a quarter of those costumes are from the comics, like the polka dot, and there's the Batman Beyond suit. There's like different,
Mm-hmm.
there's tons and tons of versions there. Of course, yeah, you already mentioned they're also like they're not present. I don't know why they just didn't go all broke. Oh, it might be they're bigger, we don't see it, but they have like the giant dinosaurs like really small in the Batcave, and Penny's probably somewhere.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably more pronounced or something somewhere else. But again, there's tons of references. The main point. A lot of fun. Also, good pop culture references too. And I guess I'll bring transitioning into. It'll be good to transition into music. All right. So, one of my favorite things about the movie, I love how we open with that Michael Jackson quote.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love it's the whole make a look into a mirror, make a change, and who.
Sure.
That thing, because again, I love that very thematically ties into what Batman's arc is. Yet still, it's a Michael Jackson lyric that Batman then deems for himself, and I love the songs in the movie twice, and very befitting both times. Because in the part we have kind of the more kind of the kind of Rat Packy and kind of the jazzy version, and of course later we have the traditional version, not by Michael Jackson, oddly enough, but I guess the rights. But, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Point
it's
is,
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is really hard to get the rights to, but anyway.
But the point is, the music choices are strategic and good, and also these scores are great. Speaks that transition to the music here. Lorne Balfe, he did an amazing score. He's the guy who did the score alongside Hans Zimmer in the Nolan film, so he has experience in the Batman films.
I don't know. I'm not quite as impressed with the score as you are, to tell you the truth, just because like it's fine, but to me, it's just there's nothing about it that really stands out to me. Like, oh yeah, that's definitively like Lego Batman. It's all just kind of like derivative in a good way. Like, it definitely calls to mind a lot of different Batman themes, but to me, I struggle to find a theme in this movie that really sticks out and like jumps out at me, like the Bane chant from Dark Knight Rises or the Why So Serious from Dark Knight. You know what I mean? I don't know. Can you point to something like that?
Well, it's more that the main thing would be that opening scene, T. It's where a majority of all that really good stuff is. The point is, like, it's scored like a serious Batman film.
Yeah, and I get that, but it just kind of feels like I don't know. It's just not as distinct as other Batman scores for me. I think this is probably the least distinct of the Batman scores, to tell you the truth. I'm not trying to knock it. It's good. It's just like, and I think just by the nature of the movie, the fact that this whole thing is like an amalgamation of all the different Batman eras, that the score would, by its very nature, be a little bit derivative of things that have come before it. But like I said, to me, even watching this second time, I was kind of struggling to pick out music that really stuck with me and really, hit home as like a memorable theme. I don't know. Maybe I'm just picky with it.
Well, regardless, the opening Batman song was really good. The not so much the score, but the opening, the who's the Batman.
It is good. It is good. I personally prefer the rap over the end credits. Maybe that's because maybe I'm more of a rap guy. I don't know. I know you're more of a traditional rock guy, and I'm a rap guy, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm more for what's catchy. So I mean, very rarely the Deadpool movie will there be a rap that catches my eye, but what catches my ear.
Sure.
But just. Anyway, suppose you get overall, I think we got some good music and good song choices. Where like One is the Loneliest Number.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a song that comes up like time and time again in movies, but this is used very well for sure.
And so that was a good moment in the movie. So let's throw some other good stuff the movie's got going forward. Some pros.
Okay, some pros. Well, I love the continued world building of this movie, and granted, I don't know, Dragon. To tell you the truth, rewatching the movie, I kind of renege on my initial opinion of wanting to see more of the world building, because I think they did it just enough. Where we basically established that this whole world is built on essentially 2 card tables like 2 flimsy card tables.
I don't know if it's card tables, but I mean, here they say like they demonstrate like platelets, but it's like I don't know, it's maybe it's card tables. I don't know. It's like the little collapsible things, yeah.
Or maybe like TV trays or something like that. Who knows?
Yes, it's like a little song in the semantics, but yeah.
But yeah, and I just love like the infinite abyss is like clearly implied to be like under a kid's bed.
And again, we were introduced to that from the Lego movie.
Of course.
There's a cool tie-in there. So again, it's still set in the Lego universe, and again we have, and also a lot of people have kind of pointed out that hey, okay, so Batman's not only is he feeling extra lonely because even the girlfriend left him.
That's true. That is very true. You know what? I wish they kind of would have addressed that, to tell you the truth.
But at the same time, again, if it's a different kid, then again, it's it's kind of iffy there. It's like I like that they kept it vague enough that, like, for me, the gay, I like the things that this is Michael Uslan playing with Legos, the guy who's involved in all the Batman. I've met the guy, essentially Batman's godfather. Essentially, this is the guy who did not create Batman, but the guy who basically put him in movies, every movie.
Sure.
This is a guy who's like, I've met the executive producer of everything Batman, all animated shows, all live action, you name it. I met the guy. But I figure like this is him, like the guy who's literally been through every interpretation. It's like he or his kid like playing with Legos. That's to me what it feels like. Like it's the ultimate Bat fan playing with Legos.
Oh, definitely.
Although it tells a new.
I think thematically this movie does a very good job. Of course, like we said, it's the best interpretation of the Bat family we've ever seen in any Batman movie for sure.
It's telling a new Batman story while commenting on all the previous ones.
Definitely. Good job on that. The animation, of course, is beautiful, although I'll get to in cons. I'll get to like a couple of things that I think the Lego movie did a little bit better in the animation.
I love that we reflect elements of Batman we've seen before in terms of story into fun kind of into our fun character appropriate narrative here. Like again, these are a few things we hit upon Batman, but again, explored through this new vein, like the whole question of Batman killing. They even raised that in this with the whole Phantom Zone thing. It's like a question of him killing Joker instead. It's him sending Joker to the Phantom Zone. A way that it's a kind of a brilliant solution of it's a way of getting rid of the Joker. But at the same time, Batman did overstep. He committed a crime to do it. So, they're kind of exploring that through a lighter way.
Honestly, most people kind of see the Phantom Zone plotline as a con, but I actually really like it because it introduces the crazy, like, anything can happen style, like, random cameos that we got from the original Lego movie into this movie. So for that reason, I'll kind of chalk that up to a pro.
But yeah, I just kind of looked at it like it's kind of the perfect way of exploring, kind of like touch upon it without dwelling on like Batman killing, but look at it as it's an overstepping thing.
Yeah, right. I'm just talking about the the.
Well, yeah, sure. Again, it serves many purposes. The Phantom Zone was a brilliant move.
Right.
Batman forming the Bat family, as you mentioned. He's the thing we keep trying to get to in the movies, of course, the forming of the Bat family. We subvert the endless war on crime. This is a cool kind of recent idea. It's like subverting the endless war on crime. It's like, okay, well, if there is an end to it, just Joker says, okay, we give up. We're all done. And it's this new idea of, okay, it's this Megamind-esque idea of, okay, Batman, now what? What's he going to do now? And he's hence the one as long as number thing. And these are kind of cool ideas to explore.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Batman Joker's relationship, which is explored very fun in this one.
Sure.
Batman is a loner, not fully
addressing the awkward sexual tension whenever Batman and Barbara Gordon are in a room together.
Yep, and it's really cool. Just kind of the examination of Batman's kind of loner measures, thing we're kind of used to with Batman, but looking at it is kind of Batman reflecting on when he's in the Phantom Zone. Phil's points it out to him. You're not fully heroic. You're kind of mean. He's kind of mean to people. He's putting Alfred down. He's making the Joker all sad and weepy. He's Batman, he's not a bad guy, but he's still not fully heroic. And although he's being faced with that decision, that's a huge thing for Batman. It's a cool idea.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see. So again, as I mentioned, I like the score, the references. The animation was great.
Yep. Okay.
Again, Batman makes a change that isn't out of character because usually Batman's a static character who is not changed. It's usually the gimmick with him. So we found a way to make Batman change for the better. It's a rarity with Batman. There's balance of comedy and heart, which is always good. Inventive Lego ideas like the signal button, which is cool.
Sure.
Let's see. We work in Lego Movie Revelation. Sorry, I mentioned that. The film fits into the Michael Jackson quote perfectly, as I already mentioned. Again, of course, we love the openings. Last thing I'll mention is this was kind of my moment. In addition to the Lobster Thermidor segment of Batman being Monday with Batman, I love the whole opening with the black logo and Batman commenting on the openings.
Oh my God! Yes, we have to address that. That's
beautiful. What I'm saying. So that along with just the whole opening was great.
Rat Pack. I have no idea what they do, but that animation was rad.
Just everything, that whole opening.
Warner Bros. Why isn't it Warner Brothers? Well, moving on.
So the whole
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Opening sequence again. There's kind of those three events from the opening again. Kind of the black kind of fourth wall opening, which again we then see kind of the Lego version of the Christopher Nolan opening. That to the whole again, just everything just clicked into place. That's kind of my full favorite moment of the film. Just those three elements, that and the whole Batman taking out all the villains. We open big, and that's really cool. But that whole plane thing, it feels very cinematic, and of course, it all builds to the kind of the mundanity of Batman alone after he does all this. And it's like it's a perfect statement on the character of Batman. It also includes one of my favorite gags. While we do not have a rooftop scene, the closest thing we do have that's really funny is that Gordon is informed as he hits the button for the bat signal. There's a problem because Egghead of all. I love this. He has egged the bat signal as O'Hare reports and covered in eggs, and he's did it in his special way, sir. It's like the eggs. And of course, we cut back to the pilot on the plane. Says, "Oh my God, you disabled the bat signal. You really have thought of everything." Right. It's so great, but it has like a grain of truth to it, It's just a grain of. In the '60s show, this would have worked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
So let's get to the cons.
God, I mean, man, I don't know. The villains just could have been so much better. That's the real sticking point for me, even rewatching it.
I think it's less they could have been better. More, I think you underutilized is more I'd go with taking that. Basically, while we do enjoy the cameo fest from the Phantom Zone, while it's cool to kind of work those guys in, I think a part of me really thinks instead of that we should have had the other guys. I think that the Batman villains we do have should have had like more development in place. We kind of trade that off for the Phantom Zone guys.
Yeah, you're right. And it's like I kind of wish that the Phantom Zone guys would have been more just like fun cameos. Whereas like I would feel that Voldemort and Sauron are arguably like secondary major antagonists in this movie.
Yeah, like
the function they serve.
Exactly. Like basically, maybe development's the wrong word, but I wanted like more lines and more bits with the Batman.
Like Catwoman literally has like one function. She's just like meow meow. And like I have computers and I say meow.
Yeah, there's no excuse for underutilizing Billy Dee Williams because that was a cool, awesome thing they did, getting Billy Dee Williams and doing the Two-Face he never got to play, and they he said some mean stuff to us. That's all he said. Yeah, 2 lines.
Yeah.
And again, like Scarecrow doesn't get anything. It's a freaking Scarecrow. Conan O'Brien was the Riddler. Did you know that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. They had some really, really good stuff there, but again, you have like all the Batman villains minus Ra's al Ghul, and you could have.
I like the designs on all of them. I think I do think it's proper that Bane is like the one that's focused on the most because he's probably the one that's the most easy to make fun of in the modern day.
I love the Bane jokes in this movie. Where like I think the thing keeps cracking me up every time I watch it is just when Joker says, "No, Batman, you can't hit Bane." What do you mean? Just keep slapping Bane around. he's punching Bane like no, you can't. Yes, I can. It's hysterical.
Okay,
man, more lines like that, especially with Two-Face. I would have liked more. That's the trade-off I would have made. Let's see. For me, real quick, I mentioned this, but Jim Gordon. For me personally, again, he's not really able to shine. It's a little more in his. He's not able to shine more in his appearance. Like, he doesn't get the fight off, and he's just acts really cowardly when he's hitting the button like crazy.
I honestly think it's kind of a Pat Hingle reference, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know, but I would have liked them just to, I always wish when everything was going south at the thing, I wish he was like fighting while he was using the bats instead of like cowering. It's the one thing that gets me in that, and the bat single scene would have been cool. Just those, but again, I don't want to spoil this, but I think the South Africa thing was out of left field and really weird. Like, why is Gordon going to South?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Because again, I want to make it clear, not just like and use my favorite character because I already have that with all the Batman villains. But for me, it's that it's a fact. I'm the idea of like switching over to Barbara Gordon again. That's a fine idea. I just wish we could have savored Gordon a little bit. Though. But in that opening scene, though, I do love they pulled from Dark Returns where he's having dressed up like the mayor. That was a cool idea.
Yeah. Let's address the Justice League because, like we said, I think that's easily one of the biggest missed opportunities in this movie.
So, honestly, that's the kind of thing we hit with all three of those missed opportunities. That's the main reoccurring thing with the cons here. A lot of missed opportunities. Justice League, my biggest problem with them, Tiki. It's one structural problem. We introduced the Justice League. In the teaser trailer, we had a shot with him running with the Justice League, which, again, I guess was to throw us off. But that's the thing that bugs me. We see the Justice League. The Lego world's about to go to Gotham City. Lego world's about to go to shambles. Where's the Justice League to help out?
Yeah.
I think I understand they don't want the Justice League there. I get that, but you know what they should have done? They should have gave her Batman calls for help or something, and then they're busy partying, they can't hear him. Something like that.
Because they already established the party thing, so yeah, that totally would have worked.
Or like Green Lantern answers the phone and botches it all up. One of those two.
Okay, that is brilliant. I love the idea of Green Lantern botching it.
Lantern, yeah? Lantern, listen, I have something very important for you. What is it? The city's crumbling. I need Justice League here. Now! Okay, when you say here, do you mean like here? No! Lantern, where? Okay, okay, I'll remember. It's super important. I'll remember. And the Flash wanders by. Says, "Oh, hey, Hal, what's going on? You sound like you want to tell me something." I forgot what's in there. Let's just go party.
Oh God, yeah. So
Green Lantern
more decks like that would have been good. I don't know. It's like one part of me says they hit the sweet spot with the whole Batman versus Superman jokes. Another part of me thinks that they could have done even more with that whole thing, and it's easily one of the funniest gags in the movie when it does.
I do like the subtle Superman joke of he sent Zod to the fan zone instead of killing him. It would have been hilarious though if it did the next snap, they just spun his head.
Right.
Let's see. I would have loved it, and this kind of bothered me with the Zod thing. Of course, we know Superman's arch enemy is Lex Luthor, not General Zod, but they need it for the Phantom Zone. That's the only reason.
I don't mind that.
That
but really bug me.
I'll tell you why I would love it though. It would have been a great Batman v Superman bar because if they got Luthor, they could have got Cranston the voice because everyone wanted Cranston to play Luthor.
Right.
How great would that would have? I agree with that.
Well, we'll address that when we get into future.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sure. Let's see. I wasn't crazy about the "Friends Are Family" ending. The whole "the friends are the family." It's catchy. It's catchy, not in the way I want it to be. It's like grain in my head. Like it's just they're all in white at the end. They're all kind of dancing, partying around. I get it's like something put over the end credits. It's all happy go lucky. I don't know.
Dragon. It's a dance party ending.
I don't know. I think they overstayed their welcome on. I think it would have been perfect if they just ended on the whole, ending it on White and the Snake Clowns. But it would have,
All right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's like not bad. I just think it's not bad. I just think they overstayed their welcome.
Yeah.
So that one just felt mandated to me. I was like, let's have a dance party.
Well, like I said, I'd like to think that is kind of like a mandated thing.
Yeah. There was no Bullock, which did bother me.
Nah, it doesn't bother me too
much. On the rewatch, it bothers me. It's like, why do we have no Bullock? You could have been the first movie to have Bullock in it. Still, no Bullock in cinematic stuff, except technically killing Joker. Anyway. All right, I think that is well, you don't utilize Zod from the Phantom Zone. Like Zod's introduced, he's in the Phantom Zone, yet we never see him again.
Yeah.
That's a little flaw there. Again, it's just splitting hairs. Again, it's all not missed opportunities. That's all.
Let me just say, this might be a nitpick, but it is something that kind of bothers me. The water is a little too photorealistic.
Yeah.
Like I wish it was just like blue Lego bricks, like it was in the Lego Movie. In the Lego Movie, anytime we saw water, it was just blue Lego bricks. And whereas we have like, I love I do like aesthetically the design of Wayne Manor on the island, but if you're going to do that, you have to make sure the water in the movie, since it is going to be a focal point, since you're going to see a lot of establishing shots of Wayne Manor. I don't know. That is one of those things that stylistically, I wish they would have, they would have done it in a more Lego style than what we saw.
Well, let me throw this at you though. What if it depends on the kid? What if the kid goes the extra mile with the Lego, if the Lego water or not?
But that's the thing, though. It literally just looks like photorealistic water. So how would you even do that in a Lego set?
Well, it's photorealistic water, so it's actual water.
On a series of flimsy card tables?
There could be holes.
Mm, not really buying
Anyway,
it.
let's move forward, aside from arguing about there's water in this movie.
Oh, God. I'm not the only one who has that objection, okay? I just want to point that out. You're kind of writing me into a hole here. Anyways.
Yes, we have an awesome Batman movie, but we have water, and not you. I'm addressing everyone. So, yes, we have this beautiful Lego animation, except for steam and water. Anyway, so I guess getting close to the end here. I guess let's talk about Batman in film. How's the stand as Batman film?
Quite well, honestly. I mean, I really do think it's kind of up on par with. I mean, I do think it's better than the Schumacher Batman films. Maybe on par with the Burton films, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go on to a ranking with this. It's not quite as. Yeah.
Well, let's not put with all time Batman. Let's not put all the live action ones. Let's just say through the animated view. Let's say it's maybe a little behind Cape Crusaders.
I definitely think it's behind Cape Crusaders.
But to be fair,
confidently.
To be fair, had it come out before Cape Crusaders, we might be singing a different tune.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
They're both they're both good. I think Crusaders is more flawless, though. It's the difference.
Yeah. I think Cape Crusaders took advantage of each and every opportunity that it had available to it. Whereas
Crusaders did everything but two things. This one had the same problem through a lot of things.
Sure.
Because again, Cape Crusaders only didn't do the window climb or the cameo. That's all Crusaders was
missing. And that's just stuff that they could just be saving for the sequel.
For the one that's coming out this year,
Right. So
anyway, but you're right, though. I think it's a little more perfect than this, and that's the only difference. It's very true to.
I mean, you're obviously more well versed in the animated series stuff. I'm sure that Mask of the Phantasm is a better movie than this. I'm sure.
Again, for me, the ranking's still kind of the same. It's just the top four. It's Phantasm, Dark Knight Returns, Cape Crusaders, and then this. It's still high up there, though. So it's good.
Definitely.
Let's see. So then number 5 is what's a battle. I won't get into it. Let's see. So it's very true to Batman. Different than different than any theatrical stuff we've seen before, which is kind of a cool thing with Batman. It's kind of, again, it's I say different, but bear in mind it's referential to everything. But again, it's different in tone to everything we've seen with Batman, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for all ages of Batman, which is another kind of nice thing you'd say about it. It's very dense and rewatchable with a wonderfully simplistic plot that allows you to see layers as you're entertained, which I really did like. I really appreciate that about it. So I think that makes it a really stand-up Batman film. If you can do that and still you don't really have to tell the most complicated plot, but you can still just kind of tell a plot that's servicing your character, but kind of taking them to new places. I mean, that's a lot. It's a hard thing to do in this day and age, especially with Batman. Because Batman, again, every story's been told with Batman. Tell a new story. Cape Crusaders did, and that was amazing. Now we're doing it again the following year. That's even more amazing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I think it's ushering in with Cape Crusaders. Last thing I have to say about it, sorry.
Okay.
Much like with Cape Crusaders, I think the films like Cape Crusaders and this. They're ushering in a reflective period of Batman, giving us something new to chew on, which I'm very appreciative of. I hope we keep going forward with the Batman character, which could be very, very good for him. Not just in live action, but also again in the animated stuff that's going forward too. If we're lucky, we're lucky. All right. So again, holds up well.
Now let's get into the future of the Lego movies, which I think is very bright.
Yes, I had a great idea about it today.
Okay, I mean, my number one idea is Superman. I really want to see a Lego Superman movie, but what's your idea?
And I agree with you 100% on that, by the way. I think Superman, I would love to see Superman.
Especially
movie.
With Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum as Superman is one of my favorite Supermans.
Well, again, Christopher Reeve. I mean, there's no beating that. But,
Okay, yeah, Christopher Reeve, but he's far better than the other two, okay?
Well, come on.
He's far better than Brandon Routh. He's far better than Henry Cavill, okay?
Oh, come on. Don't come on, Cavill was good. He just doesn't get good material.
No. You see, the thing I like about Channing Tatum as Superman is that he actually has a level of joy to him. He's not just like a sourpuss. Like
That's not Cavill's fault.
Anyways.
Anyway, so points. First and foremost, I'm 100% in agreement with your idea. By the way, I do really love the Superman. I would love to see that next. But here's the one I think they should make, and there's no reason they shouldn't. This could be a huge thing for them, depending on. This should be feasible. I don't know why they haven't done this. We do the Lego superhero movie, and this is like the thing we can't get going in live action, but we can do it in Lego because, again, there was an arrangement where basically anything Lego had the rights to, they were able to do. I don't know how long that's withstanding, or there'd probably be some litigation, but if they could figure out how to do this, man, it'd be the way to top Roger Rabbit. It would be the comic book version of Roger Rabbit. You'd be able to do Marvel, DC, including Fox, including all one. Think about it. You would have the crossover with Marvel and DC.
Oh God,
Marvel DC crossover with every property there. Imagine how many people would go to see that movie.
I mean, it would be great. I'm incredibly skeptical about the actual semantics of the rights in that situation.
In theory, again, if they follow the rights of the first movie, again, I don't know how much it's changed. If they can pound out a deal, again, it seems more feasible than the live action, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely more feasible than a live action crossover.
And again, let's not forget the reference we kind of glazed over. So I mentioned it here. Of course, we get the Iron Man sucks joke, which was a huge laugh. And I'm just saying, with that, again, that kind of opened the doors a little bit. We opened the Marvel door a little bit. There are Marvel Legos stuff. A lot of people are saying, it's not only for Star Wars was another direction to go, which would also be welcome. You're doing a Lego Star Wars movie, it'd be cool. But still, I'm just saying, this is like the way to do something everyone's been wanting to see with superhero films. It's never going to happen, at least the way the companies are. But again, you could actually do it in Legos, and you could make jokes about DC, jokes about DC and Marvel competing with each other.
Yeah.
All sorts of myriad of jokes and make fun of the companies. It'd be great, I think.
I mean, of course, we're going to see a sequel to the Lego movie, which should be good. Ninjago, I've heard good things about the trailer. I've still yet to see it. I'm annoyed that they're not playing it in my theater. Because I went to go see the movie for a second time, hoping that they'd have it in the theater so I could save it, but no. So I guess I'll have to watch it on YouTube, even though I want to get the theater experience seeing that trailer.
But yeah, again, Ninjago looks good to me. Again, I know you haven't seen it. In general, again, I know nothing about Ninjago, but just based on that trailer alone, which I think, as I mentioned, going forward, if they're really good at these films, seem to be good like first introductions to characters without knowing them, because the source material is so well represented. Again, this is with Batman. Of course, we know Batman, but just in case you didn't, I think to the layman, it's pretty all inclusive for kind of lesson 101 on Batman in a way. And again, if they can do it with any property they tackle, I think it's a really good move. Again, sky's the limit. Again, I'm saying perhaps.
Now, having said that, I think there is a limit where we hit like an oversaturation of these things, and I think they have to be careful about that.
You're right with that. Again, I think that's why I think the superhero thing could be. I still think that could be the big groundbreaking one they could go, but they could build to it. It's like once we reach.
Well, they could build to it by having I think Lego Superman is the next one we need after the Lego Movie 2. And then I think a Lego Justice League movie would make a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, probably I'm sure there's probably going to be a Lego Batman 2 as well.
Here's the thing. It's. I'd see it. I kind of wonder. Part of me kind of fears how it would go, though, honestly, because I think I kind of respect it more if it was a one shot.
I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel the same way about that because, like we said, there is a lot of potential in this movie that they could explore in other movies. We could.
Yeah, there's potential. I'm just saying, kind of like the idea more of let's explore the other characters we met in this Lego Batman. Again, all the various, like Superman would be another good stop to make. But,
no, well, I'm saying the Batman sequel will come after a Lego Superman movie, but
I wouldn't be a
franchise.
I'm not saying I wouldn't see it. I'm saying, yeah, I'd see it. I'm just saying, again, I think it shouldn't be rushed. I think it should,
I agree with you on that. It definitely shouldn't be rushed. They should, basically do what they're doing with the Lego movie. They're taking their time with the Lego movie sequel. They're having a few movies come out in between the Lego movie and the sequel. So, yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think going forward to other properties too. Again, I think Lego Star Wars is one that could be proven because again, I love the Lego Star Wars animated stuff, and they Lego Batman's had some animated stuff, but we go kind of the the cinematic route because everyone loves Star Wars, everyone loves. Maybe here's some territory that hasn't been adapted yet. I mean, Lego Indiana Jones. Again, we haven't done anything with Indiana Jones, and that Disney's acquired it. So, yeah, I think the next step would be how Disney's going to work on the Lego thing because they're doing animated shows based on Lego. Why not kind of get to the live act? Not the get to the big screen version of it. So that's going to be when. That's where we're going to see how these deals boil down to because Disney has to get on that at some point if they're taking over everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anyway, so let's get to our final point. Is the future of Lego is bright.
No, I'm done, man. I'm sorry. I'm stressing out. My inbox is like blowing up. I'm not looking at it, but my inbox is blowing up with games. So we want to be an Imagineer stuff. So I have nothing more to say about it. It's a good movie. It's to me, it doesn't measure up to the Lego movie. It's I think it's a little bit more immature than the Lego movie is. It's not as deep as the Lego movie is. I don't necessarily think it's meant to be as deep as the Lego movie is, but on its own right, it's a good movie. It's certainly it's a very strong Batman movie, good story and everything. But it just like in terms of the potential, like I said, most of the cons we have are in things that they could have done and fanboy things. But I don't know. I just like I do think that this movie could have been a little bit stronger had they taken a little bit more time on it. But it's a good finished product, and I'm sorry if I have just Dragon. You have no idea how stressed out I am right now. So please, let's end it. Let's end this.
All right, my final thoughts, real quick. I'm very pleased with this film. It honors Batman more than honestly it had to. Again, it was just kind of an easy fix of okay, well, it's Batman, it's in Legos, and it's kind of the same jokey Batman again. Even if they really kind of did it halfway, it still probably would have a few jokes in there. So it would have been okay. Well, it's not as good as Lego, but ultimately, what it is again, they really strive to honor Batman. I personally appreciate it. Again, here's the thing: it's I think you're right. I think everyone's right that the Lego movie is in terms superior to. But as a Bat fan, I think I personally like it better. You know what I mean? It's like in quality, Lego movie's got it. This one's got it. It's fun. It's like as a Bat fan, I love the pieces. It holds a mirror to Batman, which leads to an interesting change from what we've been seeing lately. So on the whole, I enjoy this one. I can't wait to get on DVD so I can watch it a whole bunch of times. A lot of fun. It's actually got me into Legos a little bit more than I ever thought I would be. So again, they got me by the Batman again. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, folks, and see you later.